Am I the asshole because I won't tell my wife what my son, her stepson, has in savings from my late wife? No, that's none of her fucking business. My wife, 40s female, and I, 40s male, have a blended family. I have a 16-year-old son with my late wife. My wife has a 13-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son with her ex-husband, and they share custody. We have a 4 and a 2-year-old together. When my late wife was sick, she told me she wanted a percentage of the compensation she was issued for her medical misdiagnosis to go to our son's savings account. She also had a second savings account that she wanted to add to. This was on top of what the two of us had already saved for him before her illness. I honored her wishes and I continued saving for our son's future. This is a promise I made to my late wife that I've stood by. I also promised I would protect it and make sure it was only ever for him, nobody else. When my present wife and I started seriously dating, we talked about what saving would look like for our kids if and when we married. She knew I had always saved, as had my late wife. We didn't discuss how much either of us had saved for our existing kids, but we did agree to an amount every month that would be saved for all three. This was talked about again when we had children together. Recently, there's been a lot of stress on my wife. Her ex has refused to discuss my stepkid's savings and if he pays anything or not. She also feels like we haven't been able to save enough every month like promised because it was just one thing after another. There are months that we've missed because of things beyond our control. Life stuff mostly, like things breaking down, etc. A few weeks ago, my wife told me we should put all the cards on the table and discuss what all 5 kids have and decide how we proceed with making sure everyone gets what they need for the future. No, that's suspect as fuck. Absolutely not. You're not wrong for not telling her because she knows that your son has money. She knows that his mom left him money. She just doesn't know how much. She wants to add all this money together and split it equally amongst the 5 kids. And that's out for 2 major reasons. 1, you made a promise to your wife and you've always upheld that promise. Continue to do so. 2, it is not your son nor your late wife's responsibility to fund the future of your new wife's children because her ex fucking sucks. I told my wife I would happily discuss what I saved for my oldest, but I would not be discussing the money left by his mom. She pushed back on it and said all the money should be taken into consideration. I told her we don't know what all the money is. I said our parents could be saving money for the kids' future. Her ex could have money for my stepkids. His parents could have money for my stepkids. We can't say for certain what everyone will have at the end, and it's only fair to discuss what she and I have and can save. I like the way you did that. I like the way you did that because you know and I know she wants to know exactly how much money your son has. I like the way you did that, sir. She told me it sounds like I don't trust her. Well, shit, because I don't. Why are you worried about the money that my son has been left by his mother? His inheritance from his mom has nothing to do with our children. I responded by asking, why does she want to know this so badly? By only talking about what we've saved, we're on an even footing. She told me if we knew everything, we could focus on the kids who have less a little more. That our younger 2 are probably going to be the worst off long term. She would be open to combining all the money and dividing it. Of course you are. It's not your money that you want to divide. Of course you're open to combining the money. You have 4 fucking kids that are going to benefit from this shit. No, sir, you're absolutely not the asshole. Not at all. I told her I was not on board with that, and what my son had from his mom is not going to be shared or used for any of the other kids. We argued about it, but I refused to give in. She feels like that's wrong when we're married. Bullshit, because this was decided when you guys were seriously dating. You guys both mentioned the fact that you saved for your existing children. Neither one of you guys offered up numbers. Neither one of you, and that was absolutely okay. But now that her ex is not telling her anything, whether he's making deposits or saving or anything at all, now she wants to talk numbers. Now she's open to combining your son's money with her kid's money or her kid's lack of money and dividing it evenly. This isn't even about your 2 younger children. This conversation is only being brought up because she doesn't know what's going to happen with her 2 kids with her ex. I told my wife it's not my money, nor is it her money, or money that we can or should be accessing. It's from my late wife to our son, and that's all there is to it. My wife said she feels like I'm keeping her in the dark and not trusting her with something important. What's important about it? You can't even access this money. So what is so important about money that literally does not exist to you? If there was $37 in his fucking account, you would not give a fuck about being kept in the dark about something so important. You just want this money for your kids because your ex fucking sucks. She said that it cuts her ability to fully engage in conversations that we need to be able to have and discussions we need to make as a couple. So am I the asshole? I've said it multiple times. No, you're absolutely not the asshole. Your wife is trying to take your son's money, like point blank and period. Like that's all there is to it. She's trying to take your son's money by continuing to keep her in the dark, sir. Even if you were to drop dead tonight, she would not be able to access that money. And that is burning her from her fucking core. Sir, you're not doing anything wrong. Continue to uphold the promise that you made to your late wife. Continue doing right by your son like you have been for years. Your wife is full of shit. She's full of shit because she's over here saying that the fact that she doesn't know details about an account that doesn't have anything to do with her stops her from fully engaging in conversations that clearly have nothing to do with her because she don't know anything about it. I want to know what fucking decisions that you and her need to make as a couple are being hindered because she does not know what money is in your son's account. You and her should not be making any decisions when it comes to the money that your son was left by his mother. Absolutely not. You as his father are the only one that should make decisions regarding that. You're not doing anything wrong. Am I the asshole for telling my stepkids that I no longer view them as my kids? I'm 36 female and my husband is 42 male, and he has 2 daughters who are 16 and 13. My husband and I have been together for 8 years. For some context, the girls have a mom who's just not active in their life. She comes around once a year or every other year and stays for 2 to 3 months and then leaves. The problem is when she comes into town, the girls change. For example, after me and their dad got married, they started calling me mom as they felt that I was their mom. But when their mom came back, they would stop and call her mom and push me to the side. I understood why they did that then, as they were young and confused and they were trying to please her. We put them in therapy and their therapist had them apologize and try to explain it. The next 2 times it happened, she told me to try and have a talk with them. Their mom decided not to come for the next 2 years, and it was a really peaceful 2 years. The kids were good, enjoying school, their new brother, and were just generally happy. This year, their mom decided to come. She came in August and stayed until about a week ago. And stayed where? Where she be staying at? I mean, that's not relevant, but it kind of is. Where she be staying at? This time when she came, the girls changed completely. It started with not calling me mom, to saying disrespectful things to me and their dad, to them telling their brother they didn't like him and that he wasn't their real brother, and some other stuff. But the main thing they said that really hurt was that I wasn't their mom and I never would be, and that I'm a bad stepmom and their mom is their only mom. It's clear as day, their mom is influencing this behavior. She's in their ears. She's telling them these things. And because they've been abandoned by mom over and over and over again, they're doing any and everything they can to keep her in their clutches, to make sure they get her approval. It does not make it okay. It does not make it okay because they are 16 and 13, old enough to know better, old enough to know that this is not okay and it's hurtful, but I do see where it's coming from. So last week when their mom left, they slowly tried to crawl back and tried to start calling me mom again. I told them I didn't want them to call me that anymore. They looked shocked when I said that and asked why. I told them that they've told me multiple times that I'm not their mom and that I'm a bad stepmom and that their mom is their only mom. So I said, I no longer view you as my kids. They looked hurt and they went to tell their dad. He said, it's between us. Their therapist thinks I was harsh, but I don't, as they're old enough to realize what's wrong to say and what's right. So am I the asshole? I also want to put that I don't blame the younger one as much as I blame the older one, as she should know better. I understand things with parents are hard, but I was younger than her when I cut my father off. He was similar to how their mom is. The rose-colored glasses should be faded or fading by now, as she's old enough to understand. You can't compare your situation to hers and how she handles her situation to how you handled yours. 2 completely different people, 2 completely different situations. I understand that you're hurt, and that's valid, 100% valid, and there should be consequences for their behavior. But don't compare your situation and theirs because they are 100% different, babe. I don't think you're the asshole. I don't, but I do think you were a little harsh. I do. I get you're upset. I get your feelings are hurt. The things these girls are saying to you, your son, and your husband are absolutely out of line, and it's not okay. But it's clear as fucking day. These girls are fighting to have some type of relationship with their mom. They are doing this simply because they believe this will make her stay around. My question to you, why are you and your husband allowing this woman to continue to come around and interrupt these girls' life like this? This is not healthy. You know it's not. You know it's not healthy. Why are you guys allowing this to happen? Yes, they're 16 and 13 years old, but I also feel like in a lot of ways, they are just little girls fighting for the approval of their mom. It's absolutely not okay, the things that they are saying, and it 100% should be something that they know better than to say, and their actions should have consequences. I do believe there should be consequences for the things they are saying to you, your husband, and your son. Absolutely. But I also believe you should sit down with them and explain to them that as parents, our feelings get hurt too. Our feelings get hurt too, and the way you're talking to us and the way you're treating me is absolutely not okay. It hurts my feelings when you treat me like this and then come back as if nothing ever happened, and now you're shocked when my feelings are still hurt. They're old enough for you to talk to them, but give them just a little bit of grace because they're severely struggling with this. I said you weren't the asshole, and I still stand by that, because if you truly believe that their behavior, the constant flip-flop between you're my mom and you're not my mom and you're my mom and you're a terrible stepmom, really makes you stop viewing these girls as your daughters, valid. 100%, because I understand that I would stop playing mom to kids who were constantly telling me that I was not their mom and I was a bad stepmom. I get that. But if there is a small fragment of a piece of a possibility that you want to have a mother-daughter relationship with these girls, again, if you're able to fix this situation, my advice, apologize and take it back. I do have a bone to pick with your husband, because how handoff is this man when it comes to raising your children? The girls have been treating you guys disrespectfully the entire 2.5 months that mom was here, saying mean and nasty things to your son. The moment mom leaves, they come back like none of that ever happened. You let them know this is not okay. This isn't the first time that they've heard this, because you've talked to them about this, yet you guys have taken them to therapy to talk to them about this, but they're shocked. They go to their dad because they're upset. His response is, that's between you three. Sir, were you not fucking here? You don't care that this is still happening, even though we've been to therapy and we've talked to the girls about this? You don't fucking care? How hands off is this man when it comes to his fucking children? Am I the asshole for throwing my sister's divorce back at her? I, 26 female, and my husband, 28 male, have been married for 5 years. My sister, 30 female, got married around the same time as us. Unfortunately, her and her husband didn't work out, and they finalized their divorce earlier this year. Is she a bitter Betty? Recently, we were all staying at my parents' house for our mother's 50th birthday. It was a treat because the 6 of us siblings are rarely at the same place at the same time. Of course, my husband came with me, and my sister seemed weird and jaded the whole time, being very short with him, and honestly, all of us. The incident happened when my little brother, 20 male, asked if we wanted to go hiking. My sister said she wanted to go and asked if I wanted to. I said no, because my husband was working and I was in charge of our 2-year-old, and I'd like to stay with my husband. Plus, to be honest, hiking with a cranky toddler doesn't sound fun to me. No, for real. Like, I wouldn't want to go hiking with a 2-year-old. My sister rolled her eyes and said, God, how fucking codependent can you be with each other? X's name and I were never attached at the hip. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe the fact that you guys didn't spend that much time around each other was part of the fucking problem. I responded with, maybe that's why she's divorced. No, fuck that. You're not the asshole. You're not the asshole, because 1, I came up with the same conclusion that you did. 2, if she didn't start none, there would be none. She didn't have to say anything. She didn't have to roll her eyes. She didn't have to claim that you guys were codependent on each other because you wanted to be around each other. She didn't have to say anything. If she would have shut the fuck up, nothing would have been said to her. My sister sent me a very lengthy text about how I was so rude and callous to throw her divorce back in her face and how I was a terrible sister. I'm a terrible sister, but you're not a terrible sister for, 1, being short with me and my husband because you don't have one no more, but also calling us codependent because I didn't want to go hiking with a 2-year-old and I would rather stay with my husband instead. But I'm a horrible sister. Oh, well, I feel like don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. My parents don't want to get involved, and neither do any of our siblings, except for my brother. He said that I was right, but I should have just ignored her. My husband is on my side, obviously, so am I the asshole? No. You're not the asshole. So your sister's allowed to talk out the side of her fucking neck, but the moment you talk out the side of yours, you're terrible? No. I also believe if your brother's going to tell you that you're right, but you shouldn't have responded, he should just be silent like the rest of your family. Because what the fuck you mean you're right, but you should have just ignored her anyway? No, that's why she's the way that she is, because nobody fucking checks her. You guys just allow her to say what the fuck she wants and then ignore it. No, shut her the fuck down every time. Let her talk to y'all like that, but she'll know she can't talk to me like that because I got something to say back.